This is a mood board, and this is Pinterest, where I got said mood board. And today I'll be taking 3 different mood boards I took off of Pinterest and using them to create characters. I would like to give full credit to Cringe Kid on YouTube for this idea. The first mood board we have is this very cute starry night one, and I really like this one, which is why I picked it. Now, I will admit that before this sketch that you're seeing me do right now, I struggled for a very long time to figure out what exactly I wanted to do before deciding on this design. Now, this design was originally just going to be like somebody hugging the moon, but eventually ended up with somebody kind of sitting on the moon, which I honestly prefer because I feel like you can see more of the face this way, and I definitely like that, especially since one of the main parts I focus on is the face. This was around the time that I realized that the torso was very short, and so I tried to elongate the torso, but then realized it was the leg's fault, so then I moved the legs down. Then I added the leg that I just so happened to forget and started to work on the face. I'd like to mention that during this time, I was using a bigger brush size than I normally use, so I accidentally simplified the drawing, which honestly wasn't that bad and it was quite cute, and I think I might do it again. Then I gave him a fluffy hairstyle and gave him star pupils, which was absolutely adorable, and I will definitely be doing again because it was the cutest thing I've ever done with any drawing, at least in my opinion. Then after giving him a little blip, I started to work on his clothes, which was just a white colored shirt and then a tie and some black tights, I guess. I don't really know what they are. I also gave him some cuffed sleeves because I don't really know why. I just saw cuffed sleeves at some point, I think, and I was like, oh, those will look cute on him. And I was right, they did. They were very cute on him. And then I started working on the hands, which that was so hard. I redid the hands so many times. Eventually I was just like, make it a closed fist, because I, for some reason, lost my ability to make splayed hands, and it's very annoying because splayed hands are very important for a lot of things. Then after making a note to myself to remember to do some hand studies, I started to work on the legs, and then I started adding some stars since that was the main theme of the mood board. I gave him some stars on his tie, I gave him a star tattoo, he also has some star earrings that I added, which I thought were adorable, and I also ended up putting the checkers pattern that they had on the mood board on his sleeve. I'd also like to apologize for the choppy video and voiceover. This is due to my own faults, and I am trying to fix it, so please just wait a little bit longer. Hopefully next video it will not be like this. Anyway, I was originally going to have his patch on his shoulder, but then decided to put it on his sleeve, which I think that was a way better decision than what I was going to go with originally. And then after filling in the sleeve and giving him a star pocket, it was finally time for the line art. I was so excited for this, and I definitely had a lot of fun. It was during this time that I actually made the pen smaller finally, so you might notice that at some point. Also, you might have realized that I blocked out all the stars originally, and that's because for the life of me I can't draw stars, so I did that so that I could just outline them when I was done, because that was the only way I was able to make decent stars. Next up was the coloring, which I started by doing the hair, then adding the base colors, and slowly adding detail. For example, I gave him some cute blush, I gave him bags underneath his eyes, I used a dark blue and a dark yellow on a multiply layer on a lowered opacity for the shadows. And then I used an overlay layer with a very light yellow and the airbrush to create a glowing effect over the stars. Lastly, I covered it all with a dark gray and lowered the opacity to give the illusion of nighttime. And then we're all done. I hope you liked this mood board because I thought this mood board was really cute, and I really liked the drawing that came out of it. Next up is this angel theme mood board, which I thought was very cute. It has a lot of light pinks and a lot of light yellows, which I thought were very nice and calming to the brain. Someone just kind of falling in the air and then kind of letting themselves fall backwards. I've seen them pose a couple times and I think it's very pretty. Because it was an angel motif, of course I gave it wings. I don't think the character's an actual angel, maybe more of like some sort of avian. And because I don't do it often, I decided to give the character poofy hair, and I also gave the character a very fluffy dress like the one in the middle of the mood board because I thought the dress was just the absolute cutest with all the bows and the ribbons. Next up was the line art, which I think went pretty smoothly. I wish I would have done more work on the wings, but besides that, I think it was very pretty. You might also notice that I have the canvas tilted almost the whole entire time, and this is because it was really hard to make the character unless I had it tilted. It also messed with like my gravity and stuff, so at one point I had the bows going the wrong way. Anyway, I followed the mood board and used a lot of light pinks and light yellows and a lot of white. I also had to redraw this hand that I forgot to draw right here, and obviously I was salty because I did not want to have to draw another hand. It was also at this point that I realized that I forgot the other arm and that the wing was messed up. As you can see, her second wing that's supposed to go over her dress does not, and that's not good. I also decided to make this character darker. I don't normally draw darker skin because I don't know how, but I figured it couldn't be that hard, right? It's just another form of skin, and so I did it, and honestly I think it was a very good decision. I think it mixed well with the other very light colors. Also, I beg of you, please ignore those feet, shoes, whatever you want to call them. I don't know how to draw the things you walk on. I just don't. How do you draw feet and shoes? Anyway, you didn't hear any of that. Onto the shading. For the shading, I think I used a dark purple, obviously on a multiply layer, and just put it where all the shadows were. I wanted the light to be coming from the top, so, obviously the shadows facing the opposite way. I had a lot of fun shading the hair. There were so many parts to shade, so it took forever, but it was really, really fun for me. And now I lower the opacity on the multiply layer, and the basic shadows are done. Now I start working on the lighting and the more darker shadows. And the way I did this is I actually used gradients in both an overlay and a multiply layer, and honestly, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm definitely going to start using more gradients in my work because it made it go from like a mid-level piece to, oh my god, this is actually really pretty. If you're wondering, I just used an eraser to erase some of the gradient on the multiply layer, which, as you can see, worked really well. And now we are done with this piece. Here's the finished one. I actually put my signature in the corner and forgot to record it, but you can see it in the corner. The next mood board was very interesting. It was a lot of these dark colors with the black and white yin yang, and it kind of had like a vintage look over it. It kind of gave me like cult vibes with all the pentagrams. I don't know if I conveyed that with the wolf boy holding like the star up, which does not look like a pentagram, by the way, my bad. Also, I made him a wolf because I wanted to add at least one of the animals that was on the mood board in, and I decided that a wolf would be the easiest. I could have also gone with cat, that would have been cute. Also, I'm just now realizing that I probably should have done 2 characters, especially since that seemed to be something they showed a lot on the mood board, was two animals together, not one animal alone. So I kind of messed up, my bad. I also tried to add this weird triangle circle thingy on his shirt, but sadly his arm covered it up, so it's not very visible. Well, whatever. The people who watch this are going to be the only one who sees it, so you guys know. For anyone curious about how I picked my colors, for the most part I just color picked from the mood boards, but for some colors I just used my intuition. For example, the Angel Girl's skin color. And also, if you guys would like to leave names for the characters in the comment section, that'd be greatly appreciated because currently they do not have names. Also, I absolutely love this character's skin tone. I'm pretty sure I color picked it, but it is so pretty, and I honestly am definitely going to try and use it again because I don't understand how it's so good. It looks so cool. It's like a really desaturated, but it doesn't look like gray. As well as this like yellow and this brown together, they're so cute. I love all the colors on this, they're very nice. While shading this piece, I used a dark blue, put it on a multiply layer, and then lower the opacity. Same deal as I always do. Then I added some hair highlights and some blush, and I also did a background, which is extremely rare for me, so cherish it. It's actually a horrible background, but whatever. And here's the finished piece. Anyway, thanks guys. If you made it this far, maybe leave a like and a comment. Bye bye. Hello? This is a pre-recorded message. You've reached the end of this video. Have a lovely day.